Hey guys, welcome back to Sissy's Savories and Sweets, and it's supper time. It's 12 past 6, so most of you are probably eating supper right now, but who hasn't come home at after 6 and said, what's for dinner? And you have to come up with a meal quickly, so I'm going to show you how to whip up, and this is a first for me, but I've done something similar for a enchilada meatball lasagna. So if you remember, I made those meatballs last weekend and I had leftovers. Freeze them. Meatballs freeze great. So I have my frozen enchilada meatballs. The recipe's posted. These are gluten-free but not dairy-free because there's cheese in the meatballs. But I'm also in a quandary because this calls for beans and I didn't make beans. So I'm gonna try something new live, crazy as it might be. Hi, Shauna. So I have one of the little handheld blenders. Because the flavors go so well together, I'm going to take a can of chili beans and we're going to pulse it. It's just a regular can. Usually I make my own beans, but let me just flip the camera here so you can see what I'm doing. Ooh. Watch out for flying. So we're going to make our own beans because I don't have refried beans and I did not make them today. So let's get it. So easy tip. If you need beans quickly, take a can of beans, black beans, chili beans, pinto beans, kidney beans, whatever it might be. And these little devices are fabulous. This actually will become an immersion blender, a handheld mixer. But look at this, you guys. This took me, what, 60 seconds to whip up? And then you've got beans, and this has got flavoring in it. So you don't have to season it or salt it. If you do other beans, you might want to think about putting in some salsa or, oh, it smells so good. So anyway, there's our beans. Meatballs. So this is gonna bake in the IP. I'm gonna grab my apron real quick because I'm not the cleanest cook. That way I won't get red on my shirt. So these meatballs are posted. They're super easy. They're super yummy. It's hamburger, taco seasoning, onion, cheese, and egg. There's no flour. So all we're gonna do is take the meatballs and slice them. And these were frozen, but this will become a layer in our lasagna. So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna cook this, and I'll show you the pan. In a cheesecake pan. This is called pot and pot because it's going to fit inside my IP. And these are messy, but they're so good. So use your leftovers. Be creative with what you've got in your house. At the last minute, what are you going to do? You're going to make a meal that's nutritious and delicious in less than 30 minutes. This is one of my quick meals, you guys. And I actually just kind of came up with this one because I just wanted to do something different. So cut up your meatballs. Now I will not show you the entire layering process because y'all know how to layer. I'll cut up one more meatball. Okay. Next step is your pan. So you've got your beans done. You can make your own beans. You can buy refried beans. You can do beans in your IP. But you need to have beans and cheese for this. This is not heart-friendly, by the way, so don't think this is low-cal or low-fat. This is a cheesecake pan. It's the kind that pops to the side and fits. This is it's a 7-inch. This will fit in any size IP except for a 3-quart. I don't think this will fit in a 3-quart. But this will go inside an IP for bakes. I did spray it with nonstick spray. And then you want to have tortillas that will fit inside your pan. These are the small ones. These are, I don't know if these are 6-inch, but if you have the bigger ones, just cut them to fit. So I sprayed it. We're gonna start with a tortilla. I'm gonna take a layer of meatballs. So this is gonna cook, and you have to let it sit like lasagna would sit. You know when you make lasagna, you have to let the sauce, the bechamel sauce settle. So we're gonna do the same thing with our enchilada meatball lasagna, okay? So put a layer of your meatballs in, like so, like that. Get move this so you guys can see better. Oh, they're so good, you guys. Okay, and then you're gonna grab a second shell. Now those have cheese in there, so they don't need to have cheese on them, but grab a second shell, get your beans. These are the beans we just pulsed and just made. I don't typically like to use canned, but you know what, when you're in a hurry, get creative. You can still do nutritious homemade food in a matter of minutes. So spread that around, and you're gonna have 6 or 8 layers total by the time you get done in your lasagna. Okay, there's your layer of beans. I am gonna add cheese to this layer. Now you can make this a little healthier by using less cheese or a different kind of cheese. I've got a mix here. This is a blend. And you gotta have cheese with tacos. I'm gonna put, I'm guessing that's about a 1/4 cup per layer. Next layer again is you grab another taco shell and kind of pack it in. Grab another layer of your meatballs. This will feed 4. If you need to do, for a bigger crowd, do 2 of these, or do it in a bigger pan, or you can do it in a casserole dish in the oven. You can also do this in a crock pot. Just have to plan ahead. But like I said, 6:15, and I need to do supper, so I'm gonna do it in my IP. Get all those meatballs in there. Grab another shell. Press that in. Grab another layer of beans. If you do canned kidney beans or chili beans that are not seasoned, make sure you season them with something to give them some flavor. Plain beans will not go well in this. You could use chili, but I would still pulse it to get it smooth. That was my next option. Then cheese. And if you guys are posting questions, sorry, my head's down, I can't see it. I'll go back and read them in a second. Again, about a 1/4 cup. You can use gluten-free tortillas and keep this gluten-free. And then press that down. And I think I'm gonna do, because that's getting pretty high, that's 8 layers. So I'm just gonna put a little meatball on top that I have left over on my pan here. Oh, you know I got meatballs left. Let's just make it a meatball layer. These made a lot of meatballs. I did 2 pounds of meat. I have 30 meatballs. So we have meatballs left over. So if you girls are part of my, if you're on this video or this live session and you're part of my Friskers group, these are the ones we had last weekend that I froze afterwards. Okay, another layer of meatballs. These are seasoned with taco seasoning. Press that in. Another tortilla. And I don't think I've got room for another layer of beans. So I'm gonna end that with a layer of cheese on top. That's 10 layers, you guys. That's enough to feed an actually very small army. So I'm going to wrap that in foil. I'm gonna put it in my IP with water on the bottom, about a cup of water on the trivet so it does not soak up in the bottom. I'm gonna pressurize it for about 20 minutes and then do a 5-minute natural release. Let that sit because it has to actually form a layer of sealing with the cheese. So I will come back on and I will show you if this was a success or a failure. So hopefully this is a success, but use up what you have. The recipe's online for the meatballs. The beans were super easy. We pulsed a can of chili beans. If you do regular beans, do add some seasoning, some salsa, some chili seasoning, some taco seasoning, whatever you've got on hand. Do spray your pan so it doesn't stick. So let's go put this in and I'll see you back here in less than half an hour. Happy Cooks, cook with love. Talk to you later.